Hello everyone, this is Ben Haynes and this is my project for the Information Inquiry Project. And what I was interested in knowing is basically what does the mob have to do with Las Vegas? I think we've always heard in the past that the mob does have, and organized crime has some connection to Las Vegas, but I just wanted to explore a little bit about where that came from. I like to visit Las Vegas. I enjoy going there and have been there many times. I've never been approached by any mob people, but I thought it was interesting to maybe to look into the topic. So I guess the first thing to think about is why even come there in the first place? Well, one of the main reasons is that law enforcement was really hampering down on illegal gambling in places like New York and Chicago and other places. Well, Nevada legalized gambling in 1931. And in terms of all of the mob families, Las Vegas was considered an open city. So that meant that no one family or organization controlled the whole town. So that meant that basically mobsters could come in from all over and start their own place. Well, one of the first ones to do that was a man by the name of Bugsy Siegel, and he was an affiliate from Chicago, and he actually started one of the first big casino resort type places in Las Vegas known as the Flamingo Hotel. And this is a picture of it from back in 1946. The Flamingo still exists in Las Vegas. Of course, it doesn't look like this. There's certainly not a big open grassy lawn on it. But as he got started, things really didn't go very well for him. They weren't able to get the business that they were looking for, and there were all kinds of issues that came up. But what we think of as issues maybe is a little different for the mob, because 6 months later, Bugsy Siegel was found dead at his girlfriend's house in Beverly Hills, and he was gunned down. If you're interested, you can find those autopsy photos somewhere. But some new people came in, took over the Flamingo, and really when they took over and they made everything first class, they bought all new linens, they bought all new tableware, all that kind of stuff. Business really started to boom, and when the Flamingo started taking off and started being really successful, well, that kind of signaled other people that yes, we could do it too. So the 1950s came along, many new casinos came into place, and you can see some of these up here. Now, actually, a lot of these casinos have closed. For example, the Stardust, the Dunes, the Sands, and the Sahara. None of those are in existence anymore, although the Tropicana still doing quite well. In fact, it is on Tropicana Avenue in Las Vegas. But you can see the Frank Sinatra on the Dune sign. At the Sands, you can see the Rat Pack, some of the people that are there. So all of these casinos came in, all of them were mob run. So the question might be, well, what does the mob get out of running one of these casinos? Well, I found a nice little video here, and it's about how the mafia makes their money, and one of the main ways they do it is from something called skimming.
Las Vegas, Nevada, the 1950s. A hedonistic oasis in the middle of the Mojave Desert. In the aftermath of the Second World War, this is a chance to escape the straitjacket of Middle America and let your hair down.
Las Vegas, Nevada, the city of daytime sun and nighttime fun.
And the people behind the whole show, the mafia. Las Vegas is the original gangster's paradise.
It was really unique to Las Vegas. They made the town, and they made it a prosperous town.
The mafia makes millions of dollars in legitimate gambling profits. But they have far more at stake. An illegal financial operation called the skim.
The commodity is green, cash. There's theft from the outside, there's theft from the inside, and there's skimming.
The skim is money siphoned off from the casino's counting rooms before it can be taxed. The amount runs into the millions. Mafia families from across the nation each receive a share in the skim based on the percentage of ownership it holds in a casino.
There's no record of the money, so it's extremely valuable to the mob. It's money that they can spend 100% of and have to account to no one for.
And good evening, Las Vegas.
Radio DJ True Hawkins grew up in Las Vegas. During the 1950s, his father was a cashier at the mafia-run Riviera Casino. But he didn't just count the money, he helped the mob run the skim.
One of his jobs became to put $100 bills in a lockbox drawer and set it on the back counter, and it disappeared, and an empty one showed up. That was every day, 5 days a week while he was at work. And it was just understood that that box didn't exist, never happened, nobody talked about it.
The mafia holds a monopoly over the gambling and hotel industry, the biggest employer in town. Going to work then means going to work for the mob. Even though it was illegal, for employees like True Hawkins' father, counting the skim was just part of everyday life.
In my father's eyes, he was just doing his job. What I got to do? That's what they told me. Here's your paycheck. You did it. You knew what was going on. However, the approach of all of those mob-connected guys, they were perfect gentlemen to everybody at work.
The mafia keeps violent crime out of Las Vegas. They have too much at stake. The gambling profits and the skim are worth millions, and they don't want to attract heat from the authorities or scare the tourists away.
All right, so as you can see, definitely profitable for them to be there. How can the government tax money that they don't even know exists? So not only do they have gambling profits, which can be very, very high, the house definitely always wins, but then to have that skim over the top of it as well, it was definitely a place to make some money. So just some interesting things. Here's a thing from the timeline in 1966. So Howard Hughes, the billionaire who was the Leo DiCaprio played his character in the movie The Aviator. So he moved to Las Vegas in November of 1966, and he takes over the top 2 floors of the Desert Inn Hotel. And it says later on he goes on to buy 6 more casinos, and most of them are from the mob. So he comes in and he does have a chance, and notice that as he does buy those, he is buying those from the mob. So there was definitely a lot of mob ownership and things. But as they mentioned in the videos, the mobsters didn't need to enforce anything or be mean to anybody about it. It was a money-making enterprise. But finding Howard Hughes here, I thought that was interesting. Also, if you've seen the movie, the James Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever, which is also filmed in Las Vegas, they do a homage to him because the part of the mainstay is a reclusive billionaire named Willard White, who is locked up in the top couple of floors of a casino, and he is making some questionable moves, and it turns out that the main villain has kidnapped him and taken over his business from him. Well, besides that, entertainment was certainly a big deal in Las Vegas. So if I zoom in here, here's a picture of the Sands, and as you can see here, this is the world-famous Rat Pack, and you can see their names back behind it. So one thing people always said is that, wow, these guys had mafia connections, and as popular as they were, it would not surprise me at all if the mafia people there wanted to get to know them. And so certainly as the mob comes in, they want to bring in the good entertainment. They want more people in their casinos. They want more people gambling, and that's more of a skim for them along the way. So just to kind of go in conclusion here, this is a quote from the State Archivist of Nevada. He says, "We owe a great debt of gratitude to the Mafia for developing Las Vegas, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. It was the mob that moved Las Vegas forward with the good, the bad, and the ugly." So I think it could be argued that the mob is not as present now in Las Vegas as it used to be. I think the last murder attributed to the mob happened in the late 1990s. But to say that they are not there would probably be a little bit naive. But in doing this project, I just got to see a nice scope of things. I think I was aware of a lot of these things and a lot of the aspects that were happening with it. But, things like Howard Hughes and what he bought, and just seeing some of the hotels that were specifically associated with the mob, and all of that happened. I remembered on my last trip that I saw that there was the Mob Museum in Las Vegas, and I actually used them as one of my bigger sources in my research and presentation. Very interesting types of information found there. Well, I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope you've learned a little bit about it, and if you have any questions or any ideas, please let me know. Thank you for listening. Here is my list of references for the various images, video, and the information included in my presentation.